Good afternoon and welcome to Fast Horses Today for Saturday, May 18th. Today's Preakness Day, which we talked about the Preakness sometime earlier this week. We're going to go with a pick 5 at Santa Anita today. Santa Anita has a really good card, especially the latter half of the card, I feel. Their late pick 5 starts in the 6th race, so let's get started with that. Pick 5 starts at scheduled approximately 3:38 Pacific time, so that's 5:38 Central time. So we've got some time before this goes. So let's get it going. 6th race, 6 furlongs, maiden special weight race here. I've got a horse that I'm going to single and also put a win bet on the horse, and that's the one horse, Well Funded. Well Funded is a horse that I've liked her last 2 times that she ran. Horse comes out of the Baffert barn. They brought her out in January in a sprint race, and she was odds on that day and ran into a nice horse called Princess of Time, who won that day pretty nicely and then also ended up winning her next race. So Well Funded came second that day. She had Van Dyke on the horse, and Van Dyke's ridden this horse twice. They're making a jock switch now to Maldonado, which I'll get to momentarily. But anyway, second start of Well Funded's career, she ended up running a mile on the turf and had the one hole. I bet her that day. She was about 4-1. Took the lead and ended up just giving it up in the stretch. Now, I didn't fault Van Dyke at all for the ride. I thought he rode the horse pretty well, even though he had been struggling at Santa Anita and not winning too often. I thought he rode the horse well, but, just don't know that a mile on the grass is really what she wants to do. But I'm guessing, they're having a hard time filling races, so they've got to put them where they can. But this seems more like it for her. 6 furlongs on the dirt. They put Maldonado on the horse, which I think is a great jock switch. Maldonado doesn't really ride much for Baffert, but looks like they got one way to go here. Put the speed rider on. They have a fast work in her last time out, and we're going to see her 3-1. I like that price. Don't know that she's running with all that many tough horses here, so I'm going to bet Well Funded and also single her starting in the pick 5. Let's move over to the 7th race. 7th race is the Misdirection. That's the feature at Santa Anita today. 6.5 down the hill. There's definitely some nice hard triers, hard knocking horses in this race. I've got 4 horses that I'm going to put in here to try to get this pick 5 moved along. I've got the 1 who is Lucky Girl, Hector Barrios, coming out of the Phil D'Amato barn. This horse has done some good work on the Santa Anita grass in long races, and you know what? We've seen over time horses that have run long, shorten up in this 6.5 downhill and do pretty well. So Lucky Girl should be a factor at 6-1. Then I've got the 2 horse who is Wild Grazer. Wild Grazer's 3-1. Jeff Mullen's trainer, and Giovanni Franco is the rider. Now, Franco won with this horse last time down the hill in an allowance race. I had her that day. I'd given this horse out as a winner. It was nice. It was about 3-1 that day. So she comes back into stake company. And this horse has run some stakes last year and showed a good account of herself. So this horse might be a hill specialist. I don't know. She's run well down the hill. She's 3-1 today. So certainly, is a factor in this race. Then I'm going to go with the 4 also, is Get the Money. Get the Money also has run down the hill a couple times and shown pretty good ability down the hill. Has Hernandez. Hernandez actually won with the horse down the hill back in March, and then they put Tottori on the horse in a graded stakes to Monrovia down the hill, and she had come 3rd that day. Ran a good race. Hernandez gets back on today. I know he was originally scheduled to be at Pimlico, but I think with the scratch of Muth, he decided not to go there and stay at Santa Anita and ride some good races. So anyway, I got Get the Money, who is the 4 horse at 7-2. And then finally the 6 horse was Chismosa. Now, I've always liked Chismosa. She's a Calbred, has shown some nice ability and just a really hard-trying horse. She's run down the hill, hasn't had a win down the hill, but has run well and made a good account of herself. So I don't know. This is a long shot, 12-1. I'm going to put Chismosa in here. Who knows? She might upset here because, she definitely has ability. And, hey, we'd like to see a price come in and boost up this pick 5. All right, let's go to the next race. Next race is the 8th race. Now, this might be one of the best races that they've carded at Santa Anita since the 26th of December. This is a mile race. It's a maiden special weight race. And you might say crazy to think this is one of the best races they've carded. But, I mean, there's like over $6 million worth of horses lined up in this field. It's really, could be a stellar field of some future stars. I don't know, but I really like this race. I like the carding of this race. I like it being a mile race, and we'll see what happens here. So I've got some horses here that I'm going to put in to move this pick 5 along. I've got the 2 horse who is Fame. Now the 2 is 6-1 the program. Bob Hess and his main man Kent DeSormo riding the horse. Now these guys haven't paired up for many wins this year, but this horse had come off a long layoff and ran once back in April at 5.5 furlongs. Didn't really start out too well, but came on running third. I'm thinking it might have been a setup for a longer race. That's what it seems like. With the breeding of this horse being by Empire Maker, I'm not sure that they're looking to run 5.5 furlong dirt races. So a mile should be much better for this horse. And 6-1, not a bad price there. Then I've got also the 4, who is Metro. Now Metro, out of the Sadler barn, they paid $2.5 million for Metro, and first race out was a 6 furlong grass race. Horse ended up being a favorite that day. I think everyone saw the purchase price and figured this horse might be ready to go. Now I'm guessing that 6 furlongs on the grass is probably not where they wanted to put this horse, but again, they've got to fill fields, and trainers want to run their horses. They can't keep them in the barn all the time, so they got to get them out there. So my thought here in watching that race, that this horse was kind of just a workout. They got the horse out. The horse ran an even race, and just got some exercise. And now they're putting the horse on dirt, which I'm sure that's what they wanted to do originally when purchasing this horse. So this horse is 5-1 in the program. I think is worth a big look. Then I've got the 5 horse who is Wise Counsel. Wise Counsel out of the Mike McCarthy barn. Now this horse was a $400,000 purchase, and first starter, has some fast works. McCarthy has been known to pop with some first starters. He puts Victor Espinoza, who I can recall has popped with a couple first starters from McCarthy in the past. So I don't know. This is a big purchase. Well-bred horse. Out of Curlin, 6-1 in the program. And you know what? Maybe this horse pops at a pretty good price first out, because McCarthy has been known to do that. And then finally, I've got the 7 horse, who is Winterfell, out of the Bob Baffert barn. This horse, another big purchase. Winterfell is 4-1 in the program. Winterfell has run twice at the Santa Anita meet, both in sprints. And, the horse got bet on both times. Was a favorite first time out. Ran with the horse Vlahos, who, if you remember, Vlahos probably ran one of the fastest sprint races in the entire Santa Anita meet. Horse blew out a field at 6.5 furlongs, and we saw Vlahos come back and run pretty well in the Pat Day Mile a couple weeks ago. They thought a lot of Vlahos to go right into a graded stakes at a mile off a maiden win. That was the Doug O'Neill barn. So, this horse ran with Vlahos for a while, and then it just backed off. And then the next race out, a horse ran with a horse named Ball Don't Lie, who also looked pretty promising in his race at a sprint. It just looked to me like this horse, Winterfell, has a lot of ability, but I don't know that Winterfell wants to be a sprinter. So I think the extension of this being a mile race brings this horse up. I feel Hernandez is on the horse. We've seen Hernandez ride a lot of races for Baffert and win, and this horse is 4-1. I'm throwing out the favorite, who I feel is going to get over bet. That's the 9 horse McVeigh. McVeigh out of the John Sheriff's barn. This horse was a big purchase, 1.25. We've seen this horse run in a couple maiden races. Then we've also seen them try the 3-year-old series of races out there in California, the Sheriff's barn. And the horse ran in the Robert Lewis, ran in the San Felipe, and then also ran in the Santa Anita Derby. Now he's running in a maiden race. You know what? I've spent enough time trying to catch John Sheriff's, and guy hasn't gotten it done, and I'm going to go against him today. So just hope that trend continues where the Sheriff's barn is not running. So I've got, in this race, as I mentioned, I've got the 2, the 4, the 5, and the 7. All right, now let's move over to the next race, which is the 9th race. 9th race is a starter allowance race, and it's a mile and a 16th. It's one of those races where you see a lot of horses running for starter allowance conditions. They qualified because they ran it and broke their maiden in a claiming ranks, and they're just trying to give these connections a chance to win a race without maybe getting claimed. So I've got 3 horses here. I think it is a tough race, but I've got 3 horses I feel like I can advance to pick 5 with these 3. So I've got the 1 who is Demichi De Medici, sorry. That's the one, Tyler Bays. This horse broke his maiden with a pretty big figure last time. Got a 90 buyer. The horse ran a 7 furlong race, and I think, that 7 furlong race, should translate well going a mile and a 16th, especially from the one hole. Horse gets out clean, should have an easy run to the first turn, and then, the pressure's on everyone else, to get to this horse. Then I've got the 7 horse, who is Mishalov comes out of the Marcelo Polanco barn, and Jeremy Laprida riding for Polanco. Now, yesterday we saw these connections pop with a nice winner yesterday in Breaking a Maiden. It was a career maiden, and they found a good spot for the horse. The horse won. So, maybe that's a sign of things to come for this barn. So the 7 Mishalov. This horse has been running in allowance races, and just kind of running even races, not running terribly, but I just feel like that horse has been running with much better than what he faces today. So, last time they put the horse in this type of level of race, so the drop in class made this horse faster. He ended up coming second at a mile race. So I think that this horse has found an even easier field here. So I think that, has definitely reason to improve. And then I'm going to put the 8 horse, who is Vegas Burner. Now, Vegas Burner was one of those career maidens as well. Horse looked like he was ready to win so many different times, was bet on and wasn't getting it done, and actually even got beat by De Medici in 2 starts back. So anyway, they ended up dropping this horse into a maiden 50 claimer, and the horse got it done, ran a nice race, got claimed out of that race. Steve Knapp claimed the horse from the George Papajomo barn, and now this is the first run for the Steve Knapp barn. So this horse ran 6 furlongs, is now stretching to 2 turns. 2 turns shouldn't be a problem with the breeding of this horse, and maybe that's what this horse has been wanting to run. So I'm going to put this horse in there. So I've got the 1, the 7, and the 8. Now let's move over to the 10th race. The 10th race is a mile on the grass. It's a Calbred maiden special weight, and also a very nice field of horses here. So I've got 4 horses to try to cap off this pick 5. I've got the 2, who is Ms. Club Cali. Ms. Club Cali ran 2 sprints, is now running a mile. I think this horse ran pretty well in her sprints. Had a little trouble a couple times, so maybe the 2 turns is what she'll want. 6-1, great price I think on this horse. Would like to cap off a pick 5 with that one. Then I've got the 3, who is Ashley Sandcastle for the Phil D'Amato barn. Now this horse has also been a career maiden. Running 10 times, 4 times in the money. So gets in the money, gets a piece, has gotten bet on. And this horse is 5-1 today. Who knows? Maybe today's the day. I mean, a lot of these horses seem to be pretty even. So maybe today's Ashley Sandcastle's day. That would be the 3. Then I've got the 4 horse, who is Pipa Filippa, who was out of the Mike McCarthy barn. Now this horse comes out of 2 sprints on the grass. And is 12-1 in the program. Mike Smith takes the call. Last time this horse didn't get a good break and came running on, ended up splitting the field, ran a decent race. Now I'm putting this horse in at 12-1. I think this horse should improve with the 2-turn race. And also I like the way Mike Smith has been riding on the grass at Santa Anita the last couple months. Seems like, he's really, making his bones there on the Santa Anita turf and winning some races, doing some nice work there. So got the 4, Pipa Filippa, and then also the 6 horse, who is Annie's Hope for Carla Gaines. This horse is coming off a long layoff. Now, Carla Gaines had a really bad meet in the winter meet at Santa Anita. She wasn't winning too many, had quite a few starts, wasn't winning too much there. Now, since they turned the page and calling the spring meet the Hollywood meet, she's done better. She's won a few races. I think this horse, looks to be coming to this race in a pretty nice fashion with some nice workouts and, coming off the layoff. Might be ready to go. Freysu's on the horse. Freysu's won some races for Carla Gaines, and this horse is 6-1, so I'm going to put this horse as well. I am throwing out the program favorite, who is the 8 horse, Run a Mile in My Shoes. This horse has all the looks of just a money burner. 9-5 in the program for Jeff Mullins. And I'm just not going to go with this horse today, so I'm going to try and beat the 8 horse, Run a Mile in My Shoes. So let's go back and recap here at Santa Anita. The 6th race, which starts the late pick 5. I'm going to go with the 1 horse, who is also, my single, and also the wid bet on that horse. And the name of that horse is, pardon me, that's the horse Well Funded out of the Baffert barn. So I got the win bet on the 1. Let's single with the 1, with the 1, 2, 4, 6 with the 2, 4, 5, 7 with the 1, 7, 8 with the 2, 3, 4, 6 to cap off the pick 5 and cap off the day at Santa Anita. So that's a $96 ticket along with the win bet on the 1. So as always, if you see fit, add or subtract how you want. You can also bet pick 3s within this or pick 4 within this, whatever suits you and whatever you're feeling is good for you. So thank you so much for watching. Again, please hit the subscribe button, like or dislike. Give me your comments. I'd like to hear from you. And I promise to respond to everything that I get. Let's have some good luck today. Let's definitely have some good trips today and some good racing. Thank you very much.